Hey, welcome to episode 9, DIY Mixers Crew. Today we have a very special guest, Paulie from Polybox. How you doing, Paul?
Very good. How's everyone today?
Good, I'm
Thanks
doing
for having
good.
me.
Very
Yeah,
well,
cool,
very
man.
well.
Cool, man.
Welcome, Paulie. Welcome.
Hi.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Today we're gonna do a little bit different today. I know we do some live mixing at the end of the show, but we want to spend a little bit of time with Paulie today. We're gonna go a little in depth about modding and and stuff like that. Us as DIYers, modders are the same way we are, man. They take passion in their work. They love what they do. And we wanted to showcase him today. He actually built a custom box for me. I'm going to show that off to you guys for some of his work. We're going to post some pics of that. Also, good news, guys. We actually hit our 100 subs that we were looking for our giveaway.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so Folk Art's going to talk
Awesome.
a little bit later on in a bit. We're going to talk about a few recipes today. The recipes, we're going back to Highwind, man. He's really kicking out some good recipes. A couple of the other mixers on the show, I think Tam and Russell, they mixed a couple of those up, and they're pretty banging, so they're going to talk about those a little bit. Real quick, every week, like I say, make sure you guys check out Liquid Barn at www.liquidbarn.com. Use discount code Mixers Crew for 15% off. Over $50, you get free shipping, lightning fast shipping. And you got to go to Bull City Vapes, man. Check them out at bullcityvapes.com. Use discount code DM6 and get 6% off your total order. Also, there was a couple things I want to talk about. First time I used ECX, I had a little bit of problem with my shipping, and I've got word in the community that they do send out some leakers once in a while, and I think it's their production on their bottle. But I wanted to send a shout out to eSig Express. They did me good. I had contacted them through a ticket. I ordered the same day I got my order in. I had a few leakers that leaked through my package. They were awesome. Their customer service was next to none. They asked me what bottles were, destroyed in the delivery, which they didn't have to, and they sent those back out to me. So I really appreciate that, ECX. The guys in the community, I know you guys use them. To me, I think their customer service is next to none. So what do we got going on, Folk Art, about the little giveaway that they're going to be doing for these guys out there?
Oh, we've got several things to give away. We've got two LB 501 500-gram digital scales for those mixers out there that want to switch from using syringes to scales, which is so much easier. And we're going to have two $25 gift certificates to Bull City Flavors. You can purchase anything that you want with that $25. Yeah, so that's we're gonna have like four different prizes, and the way we're gonna do it is we want everybody to have a chance, not just the people that are watching the live stream. So we want people to sign up for the giveaway, and what we'd like for you to do is, if you like to enter the contest, just send me an email at folkart@DIYMixersCrew.com and include your name or your alias and your email address. And then next Sunday on the show, we will randomly choose 4 of those winners to receive those 4 prizes. And let's see, something else. The deadline for getting your entry in for the contest will be on 9/16 at 5 p.m. So that's like on a Saturday before the show. So get those in to me, and we will randomly choose. I'm going to use some kind of random computer program picker to pick the names out, and we'll get those prizes to you. And if you live out of the country and you can't receive scales, or the tariffs are going to be so high, we'll try our best to get a money equivalent sent to you, so that you don't just are shit out of luck. So that's what we're going to do. And you will have, if the whoever wins the prizes, we will send a email confirmation to them, and they'll have a week to get back to us. So you don't have to be watching the show live to win. Just make sure that you check your email or watch the replay of the show next week.
Yeah,
that's what we got.
If they can't watch live, because I know some of the people, we got Luke, he's in Australia. We got a couple guys overseas.
Some people work.
Yeah, so it's kind of conflicting. So those guys that are overseas that follow us, we'll make sure we're going to be fair to you guys, because you sub to the channel. We're just trying to make it fair for everybody. You know what I mean?
Country Living's in the house.
What's that?
Country Living's online.
Oh, awesome. So, real quick before we get on to Paulie, because like I said, we're going to spend a lot of the show talking about Paul. I don't know whoever wants to start, Tam or Russ. You were talking about you mixed up a couple recipes from Highwind. We had him on last week, as a matter of fact. Mixed up on his recipes. Do you guys want to talk about that for a little bit?
I think Russ is going to lead off on it.
Okay.
All right. We had Trent on last week, aka Highwind, and he had his butterscotch, I believe it was, last week.
Yeah, it was Bay's.
Yeah.
Bay's butterscotch.
Bay's butterscotch.
We mixed
well, I looked at some of his other recipes after the show, and I chose two, but the one I chose to talk about was the King Cinnabon. The King Cinnabon's cream. It was pretty dang good to me. It was a real balanced e-juice. I know we had a guy in the Discord say he really didn't care for it, but didn't have enough cinnamon in it. But from what I hear in the community, a lot of things have too much cinnamon in it, and to me, this was just a real well balanced e-juice. So what I did was talk to him a little more afterwards, and gave him some ideas about some things I wanted to do with it, and he gave me the go ahead. So I went ahead and added some TFA cinnamon sugar cookie to that, some Inwera biscuit, and a little Cap Cereal 27, and tried to get a little crunch on that because I really like the balance of that cream. And it turned out to be pretty dang good. It tastes just like a bowl of mushy cinnamon toast crunch, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm liking it. So my hats off to Trent on that, aka Highwind. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, go on ATF and look Highwind up, and mix this guy's juice up. It's definitely good.
I don't know if you could post that stuff up in live. Like
yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Yeah. So real quick, guys. Before we move on, if you guys have any questions in the chat, make sure that you put at DIY Mixers Crew. That way we know you're asking us a question. Sometimes it's hard for us to multitask.
Russell, James Chapman's asking, is it still a 2-week seat for what you mix?
Generally, all of mine are. I generally like to leave them alone for 2 weeks. Unfortunately, I'm actually getting into this one after a week. So it's pretty dang good right now. That's after 7 days. So no, you don't have to leave it for 2 weeks, but I would say definitely a 4-day minimum up to whenever you decide to crack the bottle open. But it's pretty dang good. Kudos to Highwind on that.
Yes.
And allowing me to mod that recipe even further.
Nice.
Yeah, like you put it, you make it to your liking. I seen the recipe real quick. I think I have all those ingredients, so I'm gonna
I'm gonna mix it too.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna mix that up. So Tam, there was another one that you had, I believe.
So yeah, last week we mixed Bay's Fave Butterscotch, which we really enjoyed, and it was basically it was a butterscotch ripple milky. I'm not sure if you want to call it a milkshake. The way he said it was because he added almond to it to make it that milk flavor. But it was butterscotch and the Vienna cream, with the ice cream. And I had recently gotten this new concentrate from Liquid Barn called Butterscotch Graham Tobacco. And I had mixed his recipe. And while we were talking to him, that first thing that came into my mind was Butterscotch Graham Tobacco would be awesome in this.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, just like Russell, I talked to him and was like, can I try out your recipe with my Butterscotch Graham Tobacco from Liquid Barn and see what we can do with this? And he was like, absolutely. So I took this and I kind of tweaked it a good bit, not a good bit, but a little bit. And I made it into a Butterscotch Delight, which is like a layered dessert. And I took out the almond that he had in it because it wasn't going to be a milky type thing. And I added the Butterscotch Graham Tobacco from Liquid Barn. And I also added some RY4 Double, which adds some caramel, because in the cream that he has with the ice cream layer, I wanted to make it a little bit more of a caramel note.
Mm-hmm.
To go with that tobacco, to go with that butterscotch.
Mm-hmm.
And I also went down on some percentages just because I was adding in some concentrates.
Mm-hmm.
And I added some caramel candy because on a drizzle on top of this dessert would be like a caramel on top. So we have caramel candy in it.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it was kind of similar. Oh, and I switched. He had TFA vanilla bean ice cream, and I switched it to Flavor West vanilla bean ice cream because I have found that I really enjoy that concentrate. You get absolutely no, what is it called? Pepper taste at all.
Yeah.
And very short, steep time.
It's a lot sweeter though. Don't they put a lot of sweetener in Flavor West?
A little bit. But that's why I don't have a lot of sweetener. I have where it's optional. You can put 0.25 sweetener in it if you want to. But I don't really need to.
Awesome.
Is David talking?
I'm sorry. He put Capella Super Sweet in there, right?
Yeah, optional, 0.25.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
It's delicious, though, if you want to try it.
I mixed it too, but mine is still steeping.
Cool.
I want to try it on Tuesday.
Okay, cool.
So you guys got anything else? If you want to talk, is there anything in the news? Anything you guys want to talk about before we move on?
Not much news that I've heard,
Yeah.
except for maybe some of the regulations in Pennsylvania. Was there some rule changes or something other I heard about in Pennsylvania?
Not that I'm aware of. Paul, real quick. I mean, I'll chime you on this because you actually work at a vape shop also, being a modder. Have you been hearing anything out there? I didn't hear anything in PA. Have you?
Yeah, I mean, nothing new. I mean, like, the only real change is that obviously nobody under the age of 18 can be in any place that sells vape supplies, but that's kind of already a thing. You know what I mean? So it didn't affect us any. They tried to say nobody under 18, or what was it? The vaping indoors. That's what it was. There's no vaping indoors at all in Pennsylvania anymore. But they tried to kind of bring us in under that as well and say, like, you couldn't vape in a vape shop, but they quickly took that away. So, no, nothing major or different.
Okay. Cool. So now that we got you on, you're talking a little bit. I'm going to switch my cameras over, and we're gonna showcase the mod that you built for me. Beautiful mod, guys. You got to check this out. Real quick, Paulie does have a Facebook page. If you guys want to subscribe to his Facebook page, I see maybe Folkart could put a link to it there in the chat. Or one of you guys can do that. But basically, I wanted to get a box built with, type of, like, we talked about chipsets and stuff like that on what I wanted in this box. I mean, I like the DNA 200 chip, and but I've always had problems. Like they for me, I'm hard on my mods, and I wanted something that was going to be more of a workhorse chip, So, I decided to go with a like kind of a more of a chip, I guess you would call it, Paul, right?
Yeah, it's NLPWM. It's a smart NLPWM. PWM stands for pulse width modulation. Basically how the board pushes the power through. I am no scientist, so I'm not going to try to break it down to you in those terms, but basically it's a voltage regulated device, runs off of 20700 batteries. Those are the new batteries hitting the market. They're right between 26650s and 18650s. But the NLPWM and the guys over at Voltrove who design them boards, they're doing really good things to get people something different than just the DNA or even the SX chips. I really like them. They're workhorses. You do go back to that analog display with the voltmeter, but I don't mind it. I mean, it tells you exactly what it needs to. It fires automatically. You still have your up down buttons and somewhat of a screen. It's even, you can see it's got some indicators there besides the numbers. It locks, unlocks. It'll tell you your voltage. You can set it between if you wanted to use a voltmeter or a potentiometer or even an LED indicator, with the V3 board, actually. Sorry if I'm kind of all over the place. First time on camera, so sometimes I might ramble a little bit, but
you're doing great, man. Doing great.
But there's a V3, same core, but it allows you to use a different switch and different up-down buttons if you wish, or you can use an LED as an indicator, which is pretty cool. But then an LPWM board is it's a really nice board. I don't think it's as known as it should be. It's mostly within the modders group and people that try to look outside of mass-produced type of devices,
So, real quick, I'll get in depth to some of the artwork that you did. I just really want to talk about the guts of the mod. So, what made you decide to get into modding? Was it just something that you wanted?
No, buddy. I mean, it started vaping. Real quick, it became a hobby. I started with the Kangaroo Pro tank, and I quickly started rebuilding the coils because I didn't want to buy coils anymore. And once I started building those coils, I got into dripping really quickly, and I just basically decided I wanted to become self-sufficient as I could, and not depend on any other factors other than, sorry about that. Then you build your own box, you build your own coils, you make your own juice, you kind of only have yourself to depend on. So that's kind of what got me into it. Luckily, I had a buddy who knew how to do it. It taught me all the ins and outs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's cool. So, what are the type of boxes that you offer to your customers that decide that they want to get a custom box built, like the enclosures and stuff like that? Like you have ones that you like to use, or you kind of go customer specific on what they want, or a little bit of both, or?
I mean, I like to support as many different outlets as possible. So I do have a specific enclosure that I like to use, and that came from a company called Hitchhiker Fabrication. Unfortunately, they're going through some changes, and I'm not quite sure the enclosures I've grown to love will be as available anymore. But other than that, I mean, I mainly use they're called Alpentech enclosures. They're all milled, anodized CNC aluminum. Basically, I use pre-milled enclosures, and I wire them as neat as I can and put a lot of passion into it, and then I make them pretty on the outside. Whether it be the ink that I do I use alcohol ink, I seal it in with a resin. It's all hand painted. You could choose the same colors, but no two are ever going to look the same, which is really cool. But then, I offer abalone inlays, laser etching. As you can see, you're laser etching over the ink, and then I seal that all in together. DNA boards, Yeehee SX350Js, the NLPWM board. I can do just a plain series or a parallel. Wiring configuration, which means series that you get 8.4 volts, straight 8.4 volts, and then you have to build accordingly. Or a parallel gives you 3.7 volts and kind of treat it like a 2 mod or something like that. Kind of build as low as you want. All MOSFET protected. I use injection molded sleds, not 3D printed, as much as I can, which is actually really good for the user and myself, because I can actually solder on those sleds. They hold up very well. They don't break or melt or anything like that, like some 3D printed sleds will. So yeah, pretty much it's wide open. Like if you've heard of me, that there's a lot of options already. So most people that contact me already have their wheels turning, and then we talk, and sometimes I open their eyes to some options they didn't even know about, so it's kind of like every customer's like a journey, sort of. We usually have a good hour-long conversation before, any payment is talked about or anything like that. I offer a lot of options, sometimes maybe too many for myself.
You know what? I'm glad that you said that too, because I remember I actually met you. I've known you for years through other members in the community. I've never really met you in person, but I've known of you being a modder in the Pittsburgh area for like 3 years, maybe, roughly.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I've known your work for a long time. And I actually reached out to one of my friends and colleagues at my work, and I said, "Hey, is Paulie still around?" And I said, "Oh, that's awesome, man." So I kind of reached out to you on your Facebook group, and I wanted to get a custom mod built. And you are 100% correct when you say that you take the time out to really get involved with your customer. I mean, you are the type of dude that, hey, I said, Paulie, hey, I'm going to come meet you, talk about my box. We sat down for a good hour, like you said, and we talked about stuff. You really get in depth with the customer, and you want to get them what they want and to make them happy. And like you said, that you throw some stuff out to people that they might not know about, that might pique their interest. Like you mentioned the 2700 batteries, which they're new to the market. And I'm like, what the fuck's a 2700? Because like I'm mixing, you know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck's a 2700 battery? And you said it's a newer battery on the market. I think you said it was a true 30. Was it a 30 amp? Or 40?
40 amp. Yeah, 40 amp.
Yeah, you said it's a true 40 amp battery. And I said, yeah, dude, that's awesome. Because I like with me, I like my shit to last all day, and I vape at like 4.2 volts constantly. And we talked about the design, everything that I wanted, and dude, like, and I'm telling you, bro, like I was floored. I mean, you kind of was sending me pictures here and there, which I'm like, damn, he's sending me pictures. I want to be like, but
little teasers.
Yeah, the patient was telling me on the box, and you were sending me pictures, and the work on this box is fucking beautiful. Even on the inside, which is pretty cool.
You.
These magnets are super ass strong too, folks. So if you guys ever decide to get a box from Paulie, I mean,
it's gorgeous.
Your box isn't gonna, the lid's not gonna fall off on you. But I mean, even attention to detail, like on the inside, he has his logo that's laser etched on the inside of the box, on the inside of the lid of the box.
Yeah, and I need to work on that too, because obviously it looks like it's backwards, but with my logo, any way you put it, it kind of looks cool, but obviously it's supposed to resemble the Pittsburgh Pirates P, Paulie box, Paulie coil in the center, but it's always backward. It's always backwards.
Yeah. You know, we were throwing some stuff around on like, what we wanted to do, and that's the reason why I picked the black and gold, because and
I don't know if you picked it up, but in the laser etching, there's almost like a ghost pattern from where the ink was there beforehand.
yes,
It's hard to see it under the camera, but that's a cool effect that you get with that when you do that. It's pretty cool.
it's like like you said, like a ghost. It kind of mimics the pattern. It's like almost like a pinkish purple, maybe. Like it's like you said.
And it's weird the colors that stay behind too. There's a lot because black has all colors in it, and black's a weird ink. It reacts to other colors differently, and it's fun. The alcohol ink's fun. It really is. I never thought I'm not an artist by any means, but I picked that up pretty good, and
don't
some of them come out looking like.
Don't hand me that you're not an artist, dude. Because honestly, man, this is a piece of art right here on what you did. And,
well, I can't draw you a picture, man. Don't ask me to paint you a picture.
hey, Paulie. Got a quick question. We're getting a couple of questions in the chat, and people are wanting to know where they can pick one of your boxes up and or order one.
Just join my Facebook page, #PaulieBox, and then either put a post up or private message me. That's usually the best way to go.
Yeah, and this really, like I said, kind of do what you want with the 007. I didn't realize it was going to be like this, and I like that. It's pretty awesome because that's my call name on my mixer. I mean, it's Shake and Vape 007, but I just go by #007. And it's just the work that you did on this is just, it's phenomenal. It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Now, just to be clear, I do outsource. I have a lot of very good guys out there that it took me a long time to find. But I do outsource for the laser etching and also for the abalone inlays. I'm not a machinist. I don't have all those machines. But I won't take any credit where it's not, my work. But the ink is me. The wiring is me. The milling of the holes to put the board in and all that stuff I do. But laser etching was actually done by a buddy of mine. His name is Mike Mead. He owns a company called Einstein's Vapes in Michigan. And he's a good dude. I've known him for a while. So, yeah, I just wanted to, like I said, I don't like taking credit where, or I at least like to give credit where credit's due as well. So, pretty much if you want it on a box between myself and the guys that I work with, I can get it done for you.
So awesome. I know that when we had our little discussion, you were pissed off about your prices because honestly, I've seen custom mods done everywhere, and the price point I paid for this, I couldn't believe it. Like it was I thought it was going to be a lot more than what I actually paid for it. And I tell you what, so what are your starting prices for like a basic?
So like for a basic parallel or series box with nothing on it, you could expect to pay about $90. And then once you start getting into the PWMs and stuff like that, you're up to, around $150 for just a plain box. CNA 75 is about $152. And then once you get into like the 133s, the 200, 250, 167, because I can also do that in lipo in the DNA series. If you're running off of 2 cells, 218-650s, it drops your wattage down. But basically, you can get a DNA 75, a DNA 133, a DNA 167, a 250, or a 200, whether it be a lipo or dual battery. But once you start getting into the DNAs, then you're up around 200. And then, I haven't charged, I think the highest price I ever charged somebody, and it was like every option. Lipo, NLPWM, he wanted an extra battery. and that was $400. And he also got the abalone inlay. So, I mean, for the best mod, I think.
God, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. You said it was the best mod.
For probably, I would say, like, for every option I offer, if you were to just go like all out and order it all, like, you wouldn't expect to pay any more than $400. So
yeah. Now, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm not a modder. I'm not a like a craftsman. I don't do woodworking or whatever. What is abalone? And would you say
abalone is shell, like the E-Fusion? You know how they have the shell inlay on the panels?
Okay. Yeah.
So that's abalone. Abalone is a shell. That's basically treated, and then it's flattened out into very thin, about a 1/32 sheet, like real thin sheets.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually real shell. It gets cut on a laser cutter, and then the box actually gets a pocket milled into it, and then we drop that down in there, and then I actually fill it in with clear resin so that it gives it like that real glassy, and it protects it. You know what I mean? It's real nice looking.
Awesome, dude.
Awesome.
So,
and I can also do that with veneer wood as well.
Oh.
You know, like burl veneer and stuff like that. I've done a few of those in the past as well. It's a little harder to work with, but either or, it's a really nice look.
So now, as far as like you're like that's pretty damn cheap, dude. For, I mean, granted,
well, I've gotten in trouble for that. Sorry for cutting you off. I get in trouble for that all the time because people almost feel like if they're not getting charged an arm and a leg that they're not going to get a quality product. But I just got into it also to help people. You know, like when I first started, I just wanted to make sure everybody around me had a nice mod. You know what I mean? One that they could get fixed if they needed it without having to ship it to China or send emails and, you know, stuff like that. You know, and even though I'm not just Pittsburgh based now, I mean, it's as simple as, hey, just send it to me, I'll fix it. You know, like if they broke it, it's a different conversation. But, you know, if it just something went bad, you know, just send it to me, I fix it, I'll send it right back. Customer just pays to ship it back to me, and that's it. You know. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure everybody had a good mod to use. You know, like so. And then I'm pretty humble about the whole thing. You know, I don't brag. You know, I don't push my mods everywhere. You know, I don't say I'm better than anybody else. You know what I mean? I just let word of mouth do its job, and you know, and take care of people the best I can.
It shows. Well, that's the thing too. Like when you mentioned the DNA 200 or 133, you said it gets up to around to the $200 range, but still, dude, that's an awesome price. I mean, I know
they cost when
it costs almost $100. I mean, for a DNA or for a DNA 200 chip. So I mean, I know when I bought my Rouleau DNA 200, I bought it at a B&M, and I think I paid $250 for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't spend an extra couple bucks to get a custom mod on what you want? Like, you know what I mean? Built from poly. I mean, to me, that's worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially when you get something that you've been thinking about for a long time and it finally comes to light, you know?
Yeah. Well, I told you I had that piece of stabilized wood that you said that you can maybe do.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring it today and I forgot. I was halfway to you and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot that piece, because I was just gonna give it to you and have you have fun with it and do whatever, be creative and do whatever you wanted with it. But I'll meet up with you sometime and we'll get that squared away. But you guys, like Tam, Folk Art, Russell, you guys have any more questions for Paul? I mean, he's here.
I don't really have a question, but I have a comment. I'll be calling you, Paul.
All right. Sounds good, Folk Art.
Okay.
We'll get you fixed
up.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome, man.
Yes,
Awesome.
same here.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Yeah, the work you do is and like you said, I mean, there's so many options that people can go with. I mean, it's not basically on what I got. I'm sure Folk Art put some of the pictures up there for you guys to look at.
I did.
But just the work is phenomenal on his.
I know.
That he puts out. Make sure you guys check out his Facebook. Join his Facebook if you guys are interested in getting a custom mod at an affordable price, guys. I mean, this is just like you can't
And
ask.
you can do squonkers too, right?
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, my first one
That's
right
what I
here.
was gonna ask about.
The
That's
series.
awesome.
Yeah, it's a dual battery. I couldn't get into squonking because of the single battery thing. Like, it's just a personal preference of mine. And once I figured out how to get 8.4 volts out of a squonker, then it was all over. So yeah.
So yes, we're going to be
Yeah.
talking, absolutely, because I have, Folk Art has one too. I have 2 of these DNA 75s, and that's the biggest thing. I mean, it's just one battery.
Right.
One freaking battery.
Yep.
It's like I'm changing it like 3 times a day.
Yep.
But I love the idea of squonking and the whole thing, but I don't like having to change my batteries so much.
I don't blame you. Now, I will warn you, though, I haven't built a parallel yet, and the wiring for a parallel, there's a little bit more of it. And with a series, I'm able to hide everything up in the top up here without having to go down here at all with my wires. So if you're not afraid of 8.4 volts, or if you build coils and you know how to build high, then series is a good way to go. But I'm sure one way or another I can figure out a parallel.
This new mod
that's
parallel. See, I mean,
that dual battery squonk, is it mechanical or?
No, there's a MOSFET up behind the 510. There's a MOSFET. It's MOSFET protected, so it does have the fuse up in the top there. It's really hard to see, but I do have it sucked up. And sorry for the lighting, but it's basically up in the top here. Yeah, it's hard to see, but it's up there.
That is awesome.
So no, it is not mechanical.
So let me ask you though, with the squonkers, you think if you really start getting like in depth with them going forward, do you think maybe that you could incorporate, like you were talking about doing a parallel, you would be able to incorporate chips with dual battery, or would that be kind of hard?
Well, I already can. It becomes a matter of size and space at that point. I already been looking at getting a chip set dual battery squonk, but the size of it's not going to be mammoth, but you got to think about like 2 batteries, a bottle, and enough room on one side to have a chip or a board installed, so at that point you're getting about brick size, you know what I mean? Like not in height, but in width, it's got to have, you're going to be holding a full handful, you know what I mean? So, and that's the way it's going. I see a lot of size of these Addies now. A lot of people want a 25, 30 millimeter, adaptability. So,
right.
I've been kicking it around, but I do make a single. I made one, a single 18650 DNA 75, but to me, I mean, it came out great and beautiful, but still, I don't know. I can't. It's something about me that it's hard for me to push one battery devices. I don't know why, but
batteries.
It's there. It's there though.
Yeah, speaking of batteries and stuff like that, with the battery packs, I know for us, as far as like innovation and stuff like that for mixing, we hear stuff every day in the community about innovation and mixing, this new flavors, this and that. Is there any technology that you might have heard of that's coming out that people might see in the future, like maybe different lipos or different types of batteries, like smaller batteries that that they can use, they're coming out with?
I mean, they're working on it, but I don't know why, but it seems like a lot of that stuff, they let it sit on a shelf until the previous model has totally exhausted itself. I mean, like a lot of the mass-produced stuff, they don't shy away from that. Obviously, you see all the new stuff coming out almost every week, but it seems like modern stuff, I don't know why, it takes a lot longer than you would expect it to come out. But I'm sure they're working on stuff. But right now, it's like the 20700 batteries. There's a 21700 battery out there also that claims to have a little bit more amperage. But as far as lipos, I mean, you know, whatever they're coming out with for RC cars and planes and whatnot, that's what modders are going to follow too. I don't think they're going to make any really specific to vaping battery. You know what I mean? Like, or any.
Well,
you know, I mean, you could use.
Let me tell you maybe some news. Sorry to interrupt you. As we talked maybe 2 weeks ago, Inakin is launching a new kind of battery that promises to revolutionize the security and the speed of charging and the safety of the battery.
Who was it?
Okay.
Inakin.
Inakin, yeah.
Anakin, yeah.
Okay.
Now is this
And
like a
they were
replaceable
showing
rechargeable?
that battery in some vape show in California.
Okay.
Oh wow. Well, I'll keep my eye. I'm gonna give me something to look into tonight. Is it a replaceable battery or rechargeable?
I'm not sure.
I don't have those details.
But it was
Okay.
I can't even talk. Specifically, you know, for the vaping mods, the batteries were made for the vaping mods instead of the mods made for the batteries.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
So yeah, I think I've only seen like commercially, because like when we DIY and juice, when we talk about commercial juice, I mean, we pretty much just laugh, and I'm sure you're the same way when, you know, people show commercial mods because they're just mass produced. Because that's another thing about your mods; everyone's one of a kind, regardless.
Well, it's bittersweet.
Yeah.
I work in a vape shop, so I have to pay
Yeah.
attention to those mods.
But do you see? I think I've only seen one so far that was using 2700 batteries. Do you see a lot of commercial mods coming out switching to those?
Yeah. There's a few out already. There's the iJoy Captain, and then there's a single 20700 variable device out there, and I can't remember the name of it, but I do. There's even a few tube mods out there right now that'll hold a 20700. So, but yeah, they're out there, and I think you'll see more.
iJoy is working hard on those mods.
iJoy.
iJoy,
working.
yeah. They have already two double 2070 mods, and they are launching a single one, a single battery.
Well, that's another thing.
That looks like a pickle.
Well, yeah,
A pickle.
a pickle.
Pico. The leaf pico.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Pico. I got you. Pico.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. The batteries, I know I probably wasn't supposed to, Paul, but I use my eFest charger to charge my 2700 batteries, and they fit super tight in there. Now, is that going to open up the doors for, like, say, eFest, the chargers, to come out with, you know, like bigger chargers? Because I know that the 26650s and the 18650s fit right in the eFest charger, like the 6-bank or whatever you buy.
Yeah, that's all I use. Basically, you can't slide them in there the same way. You kind of have to, like, you know, depress it all the way down and then push them down in. But mine seems, I've been using my EFS charger for the last few months with the 20700s, and yeah, it's a little tight, but you just got to put them in a little differently. But I don't know. I mean, I could probably see it in the future, just been making it, you know, a few millimeters longer so that you can fit a 20700 in there a little easier.
Okay, I see what you mean.
So Paul, you're calling them 2700s, but is it actually like a 27000?
It's just, I'm being lazy. That's
Okay,
kind of like what
okay.
we call it.
We just had a question in the chat about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like when it turned 2000. You know, it's like, you know, you always said 98, 99. You know, and then 2000 came, and so yeah, it's just like instead of saying 20700, I've been calling them 2700.
Yeah,
I got
that,
you.
he's
I
right.
got you.
I mean, it is 27. Like, well, you don't call an 18,650 18,650.
Right.
You know, so
We just had a
same.
question in the chat about it. So
Yeah, here's the
Well,
actual.
that would make sense because there's a 26,650, so maybe somebody thought that there was a different battery than 20700. I can see that.
Yeah, so this is the actual the iJoy, and I'm from the research that I have done, Paul.
Yeah.
As far as the 2700s, the iJoys are the way to go. I'm assuming.
I love them. I like the 20700s. I mean, I like compact and small. So when you're using those batteries, you're kind of forced to go a little bit larger in size with your enclosure. You know what I mean? But they last a good while. You know, and they're very responsive, and you know they hold a good charge and stuff. And I like them a lot.
Well, here's this is a little bit old school, but if you like, I froze up for a second here. What's going on? Hold on. Can you guys still hear me?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Loud and clear.
can you see me? Like, or am I frozen?
You're frozen.
You're frozen.
Okay.
You're frozen.
I don't know what's going on here. Let me see if I switch cameras. Maybe that'll make.
I have a 26. Hold on. How do I say it?
26,650.
amp mAh battery. Is that how you say it? 26,650.
Yeah, that's
And
what I
it
was
is
gonna-
fat. I mean, it
That's
is
what I
a
was
big
gonna
old
show.
fat battery.
I was going to show.
Oh yeah. Yep.
The difference of the two batteries here. This is the 2700, and this is this is an older 26650 that I have bought for a mod that I very seldom use, and these are about the same size, like Paul said. They're about the same size as the 18650s. They're as far as like they're a little bit thicker. You know what I mean?
They're
But-
2 millimeters taller and 1 millimeter thicker.
Yeah.
Mm.
So they're not beasts like the 26650s. Now, as far as like the power of the 26650 versus the 2700, like you still
It's
get
almost
more.
the same.
What's that?
Because if you look, that E-Fest is what 4,000 mAh.
Yeah, 4200.
Yeah. So if you look at the 20700, that's a 4,000 mAh battery,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Wow. So yeah, it's pretty much like the same battery. It's just stretched out a little bit. You know what I mean?
I got you. Okay, cool. All right, man. Hey, man, it has been awesome you being on the show
Heck
today.
yeah.
You talking
Absolutely.
about this stuff.
Yes, it has.
It's a passion for you, just like it is for us in DIY. And that's one of the things that we try to do on this show. I mean, even though we do mix and we specifically devote a lot of our time into mixing, but we do want to touch on a lot of stuff in the DIY community, because not only juice, I mean, there's modders, there's like you guys. I mean, it's a lifestyle, you know, and
Sure is.
yeah, and you get involved just as much in that part of what you do, what we do in creating our recipes and putting that stuff out there for people. And if it wasn't for guys like you, we wouldn't have devices to vape on our juice. You know what I mean? And who knows,
Right.
you know, maybe in a few years, if they decide to get rid of you know, mods and stuff like that, you know, it's going to be underground, man, and they're going to go to modder, get their stuff made.
Yep.
I mean, and
Absolutely.
vaping's going to have to stay alive somewhere.
Yeah, in my workbench.
Yeah, why
At
modding?
our workbenches.
Yeah, there you go. So hey, make sure you guys check him out, you know, on his Facebook page. Give him a shout out. If you guys have any questions for him, Paulie's really quick at answering your questions on his Facebook group. I know, Paulie, you call them waffles, but the raffles, I know you do those once in a while, right? On your
I do.
yeah, so
Yeah, that's just to keep Facebook from getting any red flags. Call them waffles.
yeah, so I mean, yeah, the thing is you know, Paul, let me switch cameras again. I don't know why. So I forgot to do that. So I don't know why my camera's not working. Something happened to it. Oh well. So we'll just do this. We're just gonna have to.
You can lay down over the table and we can watch you.
No, I don't know. Sometimes like this USB cord that I bought for my camera, it gets goofy and sometimes it won't come on.
It makes you wish for the old days of coax.
Yeah, I don't know. It's saying my video camera can't start, so for some reason, I'll just have to switch back over to my.
Yeah, the good old 9-pin.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So anyhow, sorry guys, for the video being lost. There's that one. Let me see if I could switch back over to the other one. No, it's still not working. I don't know what the problem is. So, with that aspect though, Paul will probably answer any questions that you guys have in his Facebook group, and getting back to your raffles and stuff that you have. You'll have gorgeous mods out there for people. And I think the last one I got in was it $5 or something a spot?
Yeah, I usually do $5 spots. I usually run the raffle to cover, some of the more expensive options if somebody may want that. You know what I mean? So, not to. I usually keep it basically like winner's choice of what they want. And I'll post an array of all the different types of mods that I can do, and I explain that in the raffle. Pretty much we'll go over all the options, and you'll get to choose your dream mod, so to speak. So yeah, I don't run them too often, maybe a couple times a month. You know what I mean? Just to keep it fresh and exciting.
There you are.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, so keep, like I said, man, join his Facebook group. For you guys that are out there, if you guys are going to rewatch this video, if you guys can't catch it live today, make sure you check out his Facebook page, join in, ask any questions you got. He'll be sure to take care of you. Like I said, man, it was a good show today. We did a little something different. We're not going to do live mixing today because we kind of wanted to showcase Paulie a little bit, because we do want to talk about a lot of stuff in the vaping community, not just mixing. So that's why we brought him on today, to showcase some of his work. Make sure you check out his Facebook page. Make sure you check out our Facebook page. Make sure you subscribe, because like I said, we got that giveaway to you guys. Make sure you guys, if you want to be a part of that giveaway, Folkart can touch on that again before we leave. But like I said, what I'm going to do for you guys out there in the community, and for you guys that subscribe to our channel, once we hit 1,000 subscribers to our channel, we're going to throw you guys, we're going to put a custom box from Paulie out there for you guys. And we're going to give it to one lucky person once we hit 1,000 subs. And, I was thinking maybe a plain Jane box, but you know what? If we hit that 1,000 subs before the end of the year, you can get whatever you want from Paulie, and I'll take care of that for you guys out there in the community, and for you guys that's
awesome.
So if you want to talk about that giveaway real quick before we leave, or if you guys got anything else before we leave.
Yeah, I'll just speak about the giveaway one more time. Next Sunday on the show, we will be giving away 2 digital 500-gram digital scales to 2 lucky people, and 2 $25 gift certificates to Bull City Flavors. All you have to do is send me an email with your name and your email address to folkart@DIYMixersCrew.com, and that will enter you into the raffle, and we'll do it live. You don't have to watch the show live to win, but please enter your name, send me an email, your address, and we'll get you on the list for the drawing.
Anything else you guys got to add before we jet out of here for today?
Yeah, just maybe a little thing.
Yes.
Please, guys, like our Facebook page. From now on, it will be rocking daily with news, with recipes, with flavor tests, and a lot of news. So keep posted, and just like our Facebook page. Not talking about Facebook group, but our Facebook page.
So real quick, man, like I said, check out Paulie's. You said hashtag Paulie, right? Or was it hashtag Pauliebox? Okay, your mic's muted, but that's okay. I read your lips. It was hashtag Pauliebox. Check out his Facebook page. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Real quick before we get out of here, I would say check out Liquid Barn at www.liquidbarn.com. Use the code MIXERSCREW, get yourself 15% off your order, and save. You get free shipping over $50. You know, I used them the other day. I re-upped on some Nick. I think it was exactly $50. I got 500 mils of nicotine. It was 100 milligram propylene glycol, and I think it was 4 Liquid Barn flavors. And with our code, it came to like $50.63. I got the free shipping, which was awesome. Make sure you check out Bull City Vapes. Use DMC6 to get 6% off. Next week on the show, we got a real special guest. We're going to keep you guys on the edge of your seat. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but we got 2 phenomenal recipes that have been going out through the community. He's going to be on next week for you guys. And hopefully, once we get that on, we'll get those subs out there. And we really appreciate you guys tuning in today. That's all I got for you guys today.
Thanks for coming on, Holly.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Paul.
You're awesome.
Thanks
Paul.
everyone for watching
Awesome.
too.
Yeah, that's the thing. I love my box, man. You did a fucking phenomenal
Beautiful.
job, bro. It is fucking awesome. I love
Yes, he
it.
did.
All right, man.
Thank you all for joining us. See you next week. And
See ya.
thanks, Polly.
Bye-bye.
Bye.